The Battle of Endor was one of the largest and most important fights of the Galactic Civil War, one where the common man volunteered to join the rebels and fight for the greater good of us all. Normally piloting the Millennium Falcon, General Han Solo instead was on the ground trying to disable the Death Star's shields. The task of flying the Falcon went to Solo's sometimes trusted friend, Lando Calrissian, who was a fine pilot but had to enlist the help of some less familiar faces. Nien Nunb was a Sullustan smuggler and just an average co-pilot. Even so, he was to aid Lando in what would later be known as the most important hit-and-run mission the Falcon ever had. One of the other volunteer rebels in the cockpit recounts the stressful endeavor.
We didn't know what to do. I didn't have any training. They just put us in uniforms and threw us in there and said, "Help out Lando." And to make matters worse, I don't speak Sullustan. Here's how little I know about the language. I don't even know how to say it. So I had absolutely no idea what Nien was saying, but Lando seemed to understand. So Lando and Nien were going back and forth, communicating. Meanwhile, TIE fighters are flying above our head. There's explosions, there's lasers, there's excitement, but I had no idea what we were supposed to do.
The other rebel volunteer in the cockpit, Mark, has never been the same since that fateful day.
Who the hell brings in a co-pilot that doesn't speak the same language as everyone else? It's unprofessional! Yo, gabba gabba wabba woo! What does that mean? What are you saying? We're under attack! It's a Death Star, for f***'s sake! I shouldn't even be there. I volunteered just to get away from my wife and kids. I figured I'd clean bathrooms or occasionally cook a meal or two for the rebels. I didn't sign up for that shit!
Luckily, Lando knew what Nien was saying, so it ended up working out, but it was really touch and go there for a bit.
Touch and go? We didn't even get to our seatbelts. We barely had seats, for Christ's sake. Those are horrible working conditions.
Come on, Mark, it was 30 years ago when we won the war. Relax.
You relax. You didn't have to sit next to him. Smelled like soggy Wookiee farts.
Coming up next, General Solo and the others receive help from the most unlikely source. Having an entire army made up of clones has its advantages, but it can also backfire when they all have the same DNA and suffer from dorophobia.
I told them before we left, are you sure we can just hyperspace into the Death Star? Are you guys positive? Shouldn't we do a little research first? They all ignored me. Like everyone else. Are you even listening to me? Sorry, what?